Yo, 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 what's good with you folks? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jean Michael, and going live on Friday, on this Friday. Hope everybody's week has been good. Hope everybody has been having a good, um, a good week and all of that good stuff like that. Hope everybody's healthy and you know, wealthy and all of those good things like that. So, only reason I'm going live on today is because I am looking to show you guys something that I've been working on for quite a while. And things finally kind of lined up for me to be able to um, make this happen. And that is with this product that I have just created called Loop Elements. And so let me show it to you really quick before we get into the actual demos. But this is a product that I just finished creating and is now available for you to buy. And there, I'm doing a introductory, special introductory rate or price of 19.99 that you can get 19.99. That's what it's going to cost to be able to get this. And then after the 15th, which is Monday, after the weekend, it's going to go back up to the regular price. So you have a few days to kind of save on it. A few days just to save. What's good, everybody joining in with me live? What's good with you guys? Yeah, it's your boy John Mike. It's your boy John Mike. Uh, yep. So I'm going to show you how this works. It's really really dope. This is a sample instrument. It's the first ever, as far as I know, sample loop based sample instrument for Logic Pro X. And you have to have 10.1 to use this, but I got something for you guys that there's a part I'm gonna show you that later for those of you who don't have Logic 10.1, 10.5. I'm sorry, that are on the lower end of that. So let me show you how this works. It's really really dope. It's really really cool. So in Logic, in the newest version 10.5, they have the sampler instrument. It's replaced EXS with the sampler, so you can now use this in place of EXS. So what I did was I created a loop-based instrument that lets you create tracks. So let me show you what it can do because I can show you better than I can tell you. So on every key, on all keys of this keyboard here, there are loops and samples that I have. So I'm going to show you something really, really quick. I'm going to create something on the fly and show you what this thing can do. So So that's kind of how it flows. It's kind of how it works. Every key has a different sample on it, and I try to be very intuitive about it. And I have sound effects down here in the low register. In the second octave on the keyboard, there's kicks, and they're all looped. They're all loops. So literally all you have to do is hold them down. If you let them go, they stop. You got claps, no, with snares right here. You got claps, and I got different variations of claps. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Then you got perks. You know what I'm saying? And then the sauce is here, the elements. So it's all mapped out across the keys where you can play it like an instrument. Now, I also have a live loops grid, which I'm going to show you in just a second, that works with the new version of Logic, the loops, the live loops, and I'll show you that in a second. And then for those of you who don't have the newest version of Logic, you'll see that I have Apple Loops in there. So I have Apple Loops version, I have the live loops version, and then we have the playable instrument. You're getting all of this for $19.99. So let me see, I got a comment here before I move into the second one. I'm not gonna lie, there's not a day don't go by without watching him, especially his two keyboards video. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Man, I appreciate the love. I really do. Yeah, I'm working on that. I wanted to start with Logic and keep building it. You know what I'm saying? In that standpoint, keep it growing and things like that. What's good with you, James? So, all right. So while I got you guys here, let me show you really how this is broken down and how you can use it to really create some dope tracks on the fly. So here inside of Logic, as you can see, everything is tempo mapped. It's all synced to the tempo. So I can easily like take this tempo and move it up, and it's going to change it on the key. So if I move my tempo up to 120, for instance, and I play a kick down here, it plays at 120. But if I take that, and it time stretches really well, if I bring it down to 85, 83, see what I'm saying? It works even there. Or if I bring it at to 110, you know? And I can easily just keep layering and keep building. Now, while not holding anything right now, it's playing by itself, but only because I'm holding down the sustain pedal. If I let go of the sustain pedal, it stops because I'm just doing that. Now, ideally, you're going to use this for recording, so you're going to be recording this in. So you would start, your recording and actually record it in. You know what I'm saying, and play it in. So it makes it simpler as a keyboard player because I'm a keyboard player. So it makes it dead simple for me to be able to play my loops in, as opposed to having to stack them and lay them in and do all those things like that. So I think it's really dope that you can do that. So I can move the tempo up. I can do all of that. So it's broken down into like I said earlier, it's broken down into different sections. So down here on the very low end, I got effects. So stuff like this. Vocal chops, risers. Now these don't loop. These are just static one shots because you use effects, as one shots. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get a hey in there. So you got that. That's the first octave. It's just nothing but effects, sound effects. But then you get into the second octave and you have kicks. And all I'm doing is holding down that note. You know what I'm saying? Kicks down in here. For those of you who like that kind of stuff, that's your EDM type stuff. So different kick patterns that you can use. You know what I'm saying? So that's all kicks. And then you move into snares. You know, different types of snares. Then you got claps. And snaps. You gotta get the snaps in there. You know what I'm saying? Then you get your perks. And this octave is all the perk stuff. So I wanted to make loops as easy as just playing keys on the keyboard. Because I'm not a beat maker. You know what I mean? That's not me. That's not my flow. I don't like pads. I'm a keyboard player. So I'd much rather have 88 keys than 16 pads. You know what I'm saying? I'd much rather, because I'm a keyboard player. So I work on this all day. So I don't need a drum pad to be able to bang stuff out. What if I could just play the loops in like I play chords? You know what I'm saying? I thought as a keyboard player that was just more intuitive. So like again, perks up here. That's one of my favorite shakers right there. You know what I'm saying? So here's where it gets interesting. These last two octaves on the piano, and even if you have a regular keyboard, a 61 key or 49 or whatever, you can still use this or whatever, because you just use the octave buttons to get to your top or your lower registers or whatever. So up here is where it really, really gets interesting, because these are what I call the elements, and all of the elements are what they say they are. They're the elements. You know what I'm saying? It's filtered stuff, abstract stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. So you got just plenty of elements and stuff to work with. So for instance, I could just create something on the fly, and let me move this down so you can kind of see my keys a little bit better on there. Let me make sure that that's a good angle. Let's see, getting a better angle here so you can see what I'm doing. And so I can start up here with maybe something like this. And I can find something that kind of plays wrong. I'm just holding this key down. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so we hit this. Whew. I'll hold down my foot pedal to keep that going. Man. I'm just building it out. Add some perk in. Then maybe I add a shaker. Add in a tambourine. You know what I'm saying? Add a clap. Woo! Fire. I add in this reverse clap. So add that in. Woo. Then throw a kick in there. Add some effects. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way, it's so fun. You know what I'm saying? Being able to create loops on the fly like that, because drums are like the hardest part of any song to kind of get laid down, get put together. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you can have the ability to just like you're playing a keyboard, just put it together, I think is invaluable. Let me look at some questions if you guys got it or whatever. Kind of I'm talking about house. See, you guys always got to ask questions that are unrelated to what I'm talking about. I'm still working on the JM88. I'll talk about that probably towards the end of the video. I'm waiting on some vinyl and stuff to come in for me to be able to, you know, put the letters and stuff on there, and I want to be able to show you guys that process. So it's on hold until that happens. Will you make a version for Contact? I'm thinking about it. About doing some different things like that. So just stay tuned with that. I want to be doing it for some different DAWs. Now, let me show you something really cool. So that's the playable part of it, right? That's the instrument. That's the playable instrument part that you can actually play it, right? But there's also a live loops grid that you get with this. So I'm giving you, when you buy this, $19.99. Again, let me show you the page. That's the price. The link is in the description of the video to check it out. So when you get it, you get the instrument, the playable instrument, and you get this live loops grid. So any of you guys that's been following the whole Logic 10.5 stuff, you know that this is kind of where it's at, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the new version. This is one of their highlight, you know, things. And I'll do some videos on this pretty soon, just talking about this grid. But it's kind of like Ableton, in that you can, you know, use this to play the grid. So I created this session for you to be, for those who don't want to do the playable instrument version, but they want to kind of, you know, create their loops like this in this format. So watch this. So I'll add in a kick. You know what I'm saying? Add in a, let's add in clap. Let's just add in a standard clap like this. You know what I'm saying? Add in the perk. You know, let's find an element that kind of works. That doesn't work. Let's try this. Yeah. Maybe this. Too much. So you keep building. Looking for stuff that's kind of compatible with each other. You know what I'm saying? So I like that, you know what I'm saying? So I may want to adjust the volume on it. And then maybe midway through the song, I want to change the clap pattern. Go to something a little softer. Or maybe we go to a down section with the snap and I kill the kick. And again, this is all tempo stretch. I can bring this tempo down. I can bring it up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just very intuitive ways that you can create drum loops and be able to create them on the fly using effects, using all of these different things like that. So I wanted to kind of add that in. Now, make sure I ain't got any questions. Cool, no questions. You guys are hanging in there. I'm going to show you this and then I'm going to be out. This is the last thing I'm going to show you is for those who don't have Logic 10.5. So this, you have to have Logic 10.5 to be able to use the sampler instrument and to be able to use the Live Loops grid. But so when you get it, let me jump over here to where you at here. Yeah, there it is, loop elements. All right. So when you order it, you're gonna get the instrument here, the EXS instrument. Which it will work in the old version of Logic, but you won't have the tempo. It's useless basically in the old version of Logic. You get the loop elements grid. This is what you'll get in the folder when you buy it. And then you'll get the Apple loops. Now, this may be a situation for those who just want the loops. Maybe you want to use it in Ableton. Maybe you want to create your own, thing and maybe drop them in Studio One and create your own session with them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can get the Apple Loops version. So there's the Apple Loops in here. These are just the loops, by themselves, the individual loops. But if you're using Logic, the lower version of Logic, like 10.4, 10.3, whatever, you can easily drop these loops into your Logic browser. So like, let's see, we'll clear this out. Yeah. And so you can easily drop these into the session. So I'll pull up Apple Loops here. Hold on a second. Oh, let me resize my screen here. Let's just do this. Let's just make it big. And then loops. And so I've already loaded them in. And I have a video in there that shows you how to load these into your Apple Loops browser. So I literally, all I have to do is if I'm inside of, Logic and I'm creating something and I want to use some elements, this is a Logic 10.5. You can type in loop elements and there they'll pop up. There they all are. All of the same loops that you have access to in the grid and also in the grid, and also you have access to in the Live Loops. And they tempo stretch as well. Whatever their tempo is. So I can literally just drag it in. You know what I'm saying? Down here. Let's kill all these Live Loops real quick here. Yeah, that way we got that out of the way. And then I can keep building. Maybe I want to add the kick in. Maybe I want to kick on all four. I'll drag that in. Maybe I want to find another element that works. Add some crowd claps in there. And you can just keep building the same way you would with anything else. And again, these tempos stretch just like anything else. I can bring it down. And I can bring it down again. So either way you go, whether you have the old version of Logic, you can use the Apple loops. If you have the newest version, you can use the live loops, or you can use the live loop grid. So you get three different versions of this there, and you can use them and mix and match however you want to do whatever your workflow is. I try to think of everybody who does the different ones or whatever. So let's look at, I see they got some comments here. I'm going to answer a few questions about it. Again, one more thing before I answer questions. This is where you get it. Link is down in the description. $19.99 for right now until it's only going to be $19.99 until the 15th, which is Monday. I'm going to give you guys the weekend to mull over whether or not you want to get it, and then it's going back up to $29.99. So you get a nice little introductory rate right here at $19.99 that you can check out. So that's pretty much the workflow for that. Let's see what you guys got here, what you guys are talking about. What's good? What's good with your Shazam? What's good, sir? Yes, sir. Okay, let's see here. Can all AF files be converted to wave with minimum facts? That I don't know. You can convert them. I'm not sure. It just depends on what you're trying to convert them into. You can convert them. You can convert anything into a wave. I haven't tried it with this particular pack. Like I have not like tried to convert them. I just converted them to the Apple Loops format so you could be able to do that. Let's see here. Is it only for that version of Logic Pro? The live loops version and the version of the live loops and the sampler version is only for Logic 10.5. But if you're below 10.5, then you get the what's called version. You get the you use the Apple Loops version. And one last question. Scroll back a few minutes. He talks about that. Oh, okay. Yep. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to hop on live real quick, because it was quicker than me putting a video together to throw it at you guys so you can be able to, get the option to do this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So check it out. Link is down in the description. Hit the like button while you're on your way down there to grab the link. It's on sale for the weekend. After the weekend, on Monday on the 15th, I'm gonna jack it back up to 29. So if you want to save, hop on it and do it right now. Appreciate you guys hanging out with your boy. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe, do all those things that you do on the video. I'll talk to you next video, next week, next month, next year, next time I talk to you. All right, peace.